How we doing on Instagram? Our YouTube is coming up a few minutes late here. We'll make sure we get our topic in for today. We're talking about overload and gratitude, how an overloaded schedule and overloaded um, mind and overloaded body, physically, emotionally, can really throw off your gratitude game. So we'll be talking about that. Hope everybody has had a great week. We have tomorrow I should have had this up on this computer. We have tomorrow a free webinar that we're doing for Project Fresh. Really excited about it. Let's see if I can pull it up really quick here. It should pop up. Hopefully it'll come up perfect. Okay, so here's the event. It's called Survive and Thrive This Holiday Season. Give yourself the gift of health. So I'm going to throw this in our chat. I don't think I'll be able to comment. Let's see. I might be able to sneak and get away with putting it in our... I might just be able to get away with that here. Let's see. Put this in. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to be able to throw this in the chat too for Instagram. So bear with me here just a second, Instagram fam. I may get kicked out of Instagram Live, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. We'll make this work. I wish that was something that wouldn't happen. Is it going to kick me out of there? Oh, maybe I'm still here. Okay, cool. So we got the link for our event in Instagram. We got the link for our event in YouTube as well. And we're golden. So tomorrow it's going to be a webinar, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to talk about how to thrive and survive during the holidays. And it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. We've got some folks who are already joining us. Make sure if you are joining us, you let me know ASAP because I need to get you the code to get into the Zoom. And we're going to be covering how to build and start a fitness plan during the holidays, joy-centered eating, a joy-centered eating plan, how we can have joy while we eat, working towards our goal, losing weight, burning belly fat, building muscle. Sometimes eating is not fun at all. I mean, sometimes it is, sometimes it's a real drag. So we're going to talk about that. We have a sample calendar recommendation we're going to be providing to close out 2020. An anti-COVID immunity booster plan. So something to really assist with COVID and the challenges that can come well, let me put it this way. We're keeping ourselves and our immunity system very strong. And so most of the training will cover that, kind of creating a bubble, if you will. And then also building your accountability team for success. And I think I've got my presentation just about done at this point. So we're going to be putting together a nice webinar training tomorrow for that. And it'll cover the last 6 weeks of 2020. I'll be answering questions at the end. I've allotted at least 15 minutes of Q&A available, and I can't wait to have the event tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that is tomorrow. Survive and Thrive the Holidays, giving yourself the gift of health through the holiday seasons. That's our event. We hope to do some more free events online, but for now, that's what we're going to be working on tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. It might be the last one for the year. We'll see. Perhaps we'll do maybe one more. These take a lot of work. We put a lot of effort into it to make sure it's the best as far as what we're presenting. So we'll see about it tomorrow, okay? Or for the rest of the year, rather. As far as what we have going on for the rest of the year, Project Fresh-wise, what we're offering for products and services, we do have a Black Friday special. So if you guys haven't seen anything about that, we are doing something very specifically for people who are new to our community, to Project Fresh as a company. So if you've never worked with us before, we have a special offer for you. If you are clients of ours, we're giving you an offer specifically for gifting family, friends, loved ones, so that you can give them the gift of holidays while we work with you, possibly bring them into your accountability team and have someone work with you parallel, not just us, not just myself and our team, but also one of your friends, family members, someone you work with, someone who you just get down with, and bring them into your fitness plan and you into theirs. And now you have somebody who's a partner with you leading into 2021. And the best way to get things done is to do it with other people, teamwork, people together. And what's interesting about that, especially, is I like to share this story. The first program I ever tried, well, I guess it was the second program I ever tried, like an official program outside of like lifting weights and um, exercising with my parents back when I was a kid. I actually used to do Taibo as a kid. I don't know if I've ever shared that on this channel before, but if you guys know Billy Blanks, the bald martial artist, he's been in the industry forever. I mean, I remember him back in the 90s, and I think he was even around maybe back even in the 80s. As far as I know, he's still doing programs today, so he's been in it for over 30 years. Kudos to him for hanging strong on that a career of fitness and success. I'm not sure how far his programming went, but we had some of the original VHS. We had all six of one of his VHS sets, and I was super overweight as a kid, so my parents had me working out with him, trying to lose weight. My eating way overarched my weight loss challenge, or my weight gains rather in this case. But the official program that I did on my own coming out of college, or actually it was in my junior year of college, was P90X. And the reason why I mentioned that is because Tony Horton was the coach of that, and someone who I've had the chance to work out with. I've caught him in not only in conferences, but in hotel hallways and busy airports. Funny enough, seeing him at the end of, I think the last time I caught him was at the end of um, one of our conferences that I used to be in with that company. Looked super tired running through, I think it was Nashville International Airport. Caught him in the hall. It's like, hey man, can I get a photo with you really quick? And he's like, all right, sure. Snapped the photo, really cool. And he was off and running. So why the heck did I bring that up? There was a reason why I was going to say that. Oh, P90X, the program. So when my friends and I did it, we not only wanted to be very smart and dedicated and capable engineers, we also wanted to be sexy engineers. So we decided to do P90X. Little did I know how difficult that program was going to be, even though I heard it was called the program that no one could finish. People often refer to it as PX90, or yeah, they always mess up the name, but it was the program nobody could finish. And I can't remember if that was an article I saw or something my dad had said. But long story short, the four of us started in, and after day one of our roommates fell off. He's like, I am never doing that to my body again. Like, I just remember him saying that in the morning, and when we all woke up, it was hilarious. But he was serious. He stopped working with us. But the three of us, the remaining three, we hung in there, and it was quite a journey. It was absolutely, there were days where our schedules didn't work out or we could work together. So sometimes it was me and one of the other two guys, and sometimes it was those two and me by myself, or vice versa. They were in that rotation as well. And, I just remember those initial upper body workouts. Like, I could do maybe one or two pull ups because my upper body strength was terrible. Um, but just having someone to do the work with, someone who I could compete with. One of the guys was like, gosh, at least 10 inches shorter than me. He probably would hate me if I said that. Okay, he's not 10 inches shorter than me. But we definitely had a size difference as far as body. And so he would get up there and just start cranking pull-ups out like crazy. So it was to my best interest to beat him. Like, I wanted to beat him. And so every time I would tell him my new record, like, oh, I got 10 pull-ups on upper body today, he'd be like, I got 11. I was like, dang it. But we had competition, we had camaraderie, we had a built-in accountability system. And so that really made the difference for starting a program. And I talk about that a lot because it can be really hard to change your body, change your health by yourself. But when you have somebody who you can do it with, it makes such a big difference. It makes a really big difference. And let's see here. As far as the topic goes for today, what I really wanted to focus on primarily for today is the idea of overload. Now, we can get very overloaded in work. We can get very overloaded um, in our day to day activities and our relationships and what's going on in the world. There's a lot of different ways we can get overloaded. And unfortunately, overload can really cause us some challenge, some problems as far as getting things done. And it can really compete with our ability to be grateful and thankful for what's going on. Let's say you just started a workout and you jump in hot and heavy and you're pushing yourself harder than you need to get started, which is very common. I've done it a number of times myself. Very simply and very easily, you can start to get to overload, overwhelm, just totally way too much going on, and get to a point where you're just tapping out. You know, just totally tapped out, right? So that's something to be very considerate, to be very aware of, because overload can come almost overnight. And not only that, but it's really hard if you're constantly operating in a state of overload or overwhelm. You're breaking down your body's immunity system. You are uh, setting yourself up for some emotional and mental fatigue as well, just in the context of physical here. It could be the same too, mental and emotional overload. Now you're not motivated to move your body. It's a cycle. It all really kind of comes together in cycle one way or another. So the idea is to do enough to feel challenged, but not so much that you feel overwhelmed. And if you do get to a point where even if you're doing little chunks of a little bit as you go, it's very important to take a break. Allow yourself to rest mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and just allow that body to rest. If you need more than one day, take the second day. After that, try to do something that's active mentally, physically, emotionally, so you don't feel like you're losing repetitions, because that's very useful. And keep things going. And to whatever level that you want to have yourself achieve, or hit goals, or maintain objectives, or whatever it may be, you got to maintain that same level of work and diligence and everything else. So an example is, I believe here within the month, I think it's the 22nd. What's today? Today's the 20th. So in a little over a month's time, I believe we'll be starting to see NBA again. Absolutely love basketball, love watching the NBA. It was my team that won the championship this year, the Lakers. So it was very exciting. And now they are tied with the Celtics finally for the most championships of all time. So that was exceptionally cool to see as a Lakers fan. But besides that, in case I'm disrupting anybody else's lives as far as who's fan, I'll put that to the side. Um, for those guys to really work hard, my wife's giving me the eye right now because she's a Warriors fan. No, just kidding. Anyway, what was? Oh yes. So for those professional athletes, basketball players in this case, their seasons are long. Their periods of rest are relatively short. There's a lot of wear and tear on their body, and there is a certain level of exercise and hard work that they have to put in to stay at that peak performance, that level of peak performance, right? So the ability to cross over on a dribble very well, the ability to defend, be a defender who is excellent in the game, uh, someone who can shoot very well, someone who can run up and down the floor very well without getting gassed out. That requires a lot of energy, effort, work outside of the game, not just in the game, and a lot of work off season too. So these guys are basically running, almost all year around. I'm sure they do take breaks, but ultimately those guys are working all the time. Well, to achieve that level of work, there also needs to be an equal level of rest, recovery, repair of the body, proper nutrition, proper hydration, proper stress relief, because that's not just physical stress, that can also be mental. There's even studies out there about how that level can become an emotional challenge at times too, just because it is so much. so much mentally, so much physically, so much, you could even argue, I guess, spiritually, maybe, but definitely mentally and emotionally. And then you throw in the physicality of the game, the emotional heights that it can take you to, and when it comes down to the wire, you're playing for games that will qualify you to next rounds, those kinds of things, or set you up even to just get into the playoffs. There's a lot that comes to it, so there's a lot that's required to help you stay at that level. Well, we're not NBA professional athletes here, but we do have lifestyle goals, which translates directly to life goals that we're working up towards. So as we're working towards those life goals, we're bringing up this level of lifestyle. We have to maintain at least to stay here, right? So if we want to move up the bar here, we got to move this bar up first, and life follows. Lifestyle goes up, life slowly follows. Lifestyle goes up, life slowly follows. And so if we overload ourselves, we're gonna drop down pretty quick on our lifestyle. And if we hang down there for long enough, here comes life to follow, right? Our lifestyle leads our life, right? So lifestyle leads life. If we have the lifestyle, the habits, the skills, the daily disciplines, we're going to eventually get better at what we're doing. And as long as uh, we're progressively loading in those areas, say fitness, say nutrition, say sleep, we're progressively improving in those areas would be a better way to say it. Then we're going to see progressive results as well. Okay. And so overload can definitely steal the ability to be grateful, because overload requires you to push yourself beyond a point. Like overtraining is a real thing, for example, beyond what would be beneficial to you, so to speak. And it's really hard to be grateful when you're beating yourself up like that. And I can also speak to that. So what I'm saying is that if we can manage overwhelm, we can set ourselves up for gratitude in our pace, gratitude in our progress, gratitude in the results that we're going to see by progressively increasing in all those areas and more. And with we all like success, right? We all are success driven in some way, shape, or form. What the motivator is in that success may be, whatever it may be, but ultimately we're all success driven in some way, shape, or form. And gratitude comes a lot easier when you're successful. The challenge is having gratitude when you're in the peak season. And I think we've had a good amount of talk on those so far in our series on being grateful. I'm going to finish with my gratitude for today. I'm extremely grateful that I am pushing myself a little bit here for getting on YouTube and also doing some trainings through Meetup. The reason why is because it's a whole nother level of business that is an area that for the longest time I was afraid to get back into. I had no desire to get back to networking with people. Kind of more cold traffic, if you will, people who I don't know. Because for a long time, from 2012 to 2015, I had put so much effort into it, and I didn't know the skill set. I didn't have the skills. I didn't have the right systems at the time, and I absolutely beat myself into the ground trying to figure out how to get more clients. And I wasn't very successful in it, so I was afraid to go back. So I'm grateful that I have come out of that. I've not just dipped my toe in the water, but jumped in and started practicing swimming again, so that I can get back after it and start serving more people who are looking for the things we have to offer. We may not relate with everybody, but we do come into contact with people we do relate with. We establish that new relationship, and over time, we have steady clients, and that's a fun thing to get to steady clients. However, it does require that work, including this, and so I'm grateful for the work today. I hope you guys have an awesome, excellent, and safe weekend, and we'll see you next week leading into Thanksgiving. I'll probably do for Thanksgiving and Black Friday. I'm not sure what the scheduling is going to be like, so I'll let you guys know what that looks like as we get closer to those 2 days next week. All right, hope you have a great one. We'll see you next week. Happy weekend to you. I've never heard anyone say that before, so I don't know why I said that, but have a great weekend. Peace out. Until next time. Ryan Sanders with Project Fresh.